Good morning. What a weekend. I'm actually thinking of putting on a little bit of music to get us started. And when you can, check in and let me know where you're at as we go through this. And I'm going to just play some background music in the meantime, just feeling it for some reason. And what a morning. What a weekend, I should say, and everything else. It's just been quite crazy. So what I would like to see is let me know where you're at. There's been a lot that has transpired in the past week, and so I'd like to have just a discussion. It is June 1st, and there's been a lot that has happened in the last 3 months. 3 months. Can you believe 3 months? So I'm feeling the need to cleanse and purify and just kind of get the ball rolling here. But let me know in the comments. Good morning, Lori. Let me know where you're at. Let me know what's happening, what's the surface for you over the weekend. And I even felt the need to bring in some Hanuki that I had found outside. Good morning, Nancy. And I think I missed who else checked in here. Good morning, Laura from Toronto. Yay. Good morning, Karen. So we've got a lot to talk about. I'm just going to kind of quick show you what showed up so you get an idea. And what I would like to do before we start is just do a little invocation and prayer, because I'm just feeling the need, because I'm feeling this pull where there's a part of me that's in a flow and grounded and so connected to the spiritual world, and then there's the other part of me. I can feel the anxiety, I can feel the frustration, I can feel the rage of all that is happening that's around us. So I would like to just to start with a prayer and invocation, and I want to make sure too, by the way, that you guys can hear me okay. All right, so here we go. Infinite God of love and light, Creator, Great Spirit, we all gather today, as many of us are feeling lost, broken, not knowing where we should be going, although we know that when we surrender to our spirit, that our spirit knows exactly how to guide us through all that is, all that was, and all that shall be. I ask for permission for the help and the guidance and wisdom of the original stewards of the land that I currently reside on, the Massachusetts people. I also ask our Great Mother, whose heartbeat we feel within our own, connected with ourselves, connected to others. May we feel that connection and understand that we are all connected. We're all on this journey together. May we bring in the grounding, loving, nurturing trees and the tree wisdom and the earth of the north. May we call in the winds of the east. May the winds carry us to bring us peace and guidance moving forward. May the waters of the west nurture us. May they feed us. May they cleanse us. May they purify us of all the things that is no longer serving both us as humans on this planet, but also for the stewards that we are supposed to be on this planet. May we call in the fires of the South. May they rage within us, but may we honor and respect the flame, as the anger and frustration that we are currently seeing is destructive. May we see the flame that's within us that is burning, that we see the flame to burn that's within us that no longer serves us, so that we may honor and respect the flame for its power and its wisdom. Thank you for all that are showing up today, all that who is here, all that will be showing up later. We honor and thank you. Now I feel a little better. Carolyn, you made it. 5:30 West Coast time. Thank you for joining. So I have been up since 6 o'clock this morning, and there's been a lot of medicine. I had to write a lot of notes for myself because sometimes I go on tangents, for those of you who know me. And, I added this card and in the mix of it at the end. And I think it speaks for itself, and where we're heading and what needs to be. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Colby. So just keep that in mind as we move forward with the medicine that we're going to be talking about, because for some of you it might be raw, it might be triggering, but my hope and goal is being on the 1st of June, that there's so much surfacing. Last night was week 3 of the self-care for the empath class. And good morning, Annette. We have some West Coasters in the house. Woohoo! So, but there's a lot surfacing, especially for us that identify as an empath. We're probably going to be relaunching this class for open enrollment in a few weeks. So this class couldn't have come at a better time, because I've been teaching it for 5 or 6 years now. And some of it may be things that a lot of you know, like the basics of what is an empath, what is not an empath, and things like that. But the way it's designed, I'm actually blown away. I wasn't sure how it was going to translate into the virtual realm. And the group that we have in there are blowing me away with seeing the virtual realm is actually very helpful, because the questions and things that we're prompting are causing them to think, especially in light of current events, which is why I kind of structured this class around the whole COVID scenario in times of crisis, which is what we're in right now, right? So as I was driving home, I stayed at Arnie's house last night, and I was driving home at 6 o'clock this morning, and, I know we have a lot of rabbits and where I live. There's a lot of rabbits, but never, and we've got probably at least 5, I'll show you how many. We've got at least 5 families of rabbits in my neighborhood, at least, okay? And they breed, which, by the way, we have a lot of wildlife in my neck of the woods, everything from deer to hawks to owls, you name it, foxes, coyotes. But for the first time, and I've lived here for almost 20 years, and a rabbit actually crossed in front of my car this morning, and I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, why would you do that? I could have run over you. Like, what's happening here? And I said, no, Laura, don't even analyze. Just sit there. There's medicine here. It's going to show up in today's Facebook Live, and it's gonna reveal itself. And then as I go into my house and I'm unloading my car and I'm doing a few things, we have a robin's nest door down from me. And the robins, both mom and dad, were acting very frantic outside. And I knew it wasn't me. but I did see a black cat in the neighborhood this morning, and so I questioned. Something instinctually told me to go check on the baby robins in the nest and see how they are, since I haven't seen them since Thursday or Friday. And it's amazing how fast they grow, because they went from being these little tiny little beings with like no feathers on them or very little to fledglings. As I saw one of them outside the nest this morning, and I go, "Oh my God, where are your brothers and sisters?" And putting two and two together, I wondered if the cat had gotten one of the fledglings this morning. And my heart broke for mom and dad, one on the roof and the other one in a tree, trying to steer things away. And I just sat there and I held a prayer for them. And I, as a parent who's lost their children, my heart was breaking. And so there's medicine here. And I knew, and I said, okay, I haven't even pulled the cards yet for this morning. And I go, this is like some serious medicine that's already showing up this morning. And I'm curious to see where the rest of it goes. And so the first card I pulled was this, and I go, surrender to joy. Okay, we that showed up last week as well. And I'm going, not too many people are feeling joyous right now. Especially in light of even what happened last night. I was up on Twitter last night, reaching out and flagging abusive comments, people that were threatening violence, people were threatening those of color to be killed, and other aspects. So I was trying to do my diligence there, and also trying to find a way to use my words and language to inspire at a time where people aren't feeling quite inspired. And then this showed up today, and I instantly, as usual, started to smile, and I was like, oh my God, Jaguar, really? Like, so what it brought to mind with Jaguar is I instantly went right to my experience being in Kenya and Tanzania for a month with Jaguar, and how, because it's in the same family as leopard, so and panther. And so I was just taken back, and I just said, okay, so is Jaguar tied to a lot of the civil unrest that's happening here? And when we think of Jaguar, I know in Mayan, like Central American, my years of studying Mayan history that I was very connected to, is connected to a god. So to the Aztecs, the Incas, I mean, there's temples galore tied to the Jaguar. And, the Jaguar brings this beautiful medicine and power that's tied to it. So when we think of like symbolism here, the Mayans saw the Jaguar tied to the underworld. So it was a symbol of the night sun and darkness, right? Kind of what we're experiencing now, even in the daylight right now. There's a lot of darkness that's happening, that's rising. And with the shadows of trauma, the collective trauma that's rising, we have to be very careful how we take out our trauma, whether it's our own, whether it's generational, whether it's karmic, on another human being, because it's not for us to take it out on another human being. It's about us to clear it out and resolve it and heal it, right? So that we can rise up and be better stewards on this planet. So the Jaguar is also associated with vision, because both with the ability to see at night and to look into, so the Jaguar was associated too with the ability to look into the darkness of the heart, of the human heart. So here, like when you think about that, with all the unrest, and we've got a president that's inciting being shot at, and all these other things, and we've got political agendas that are amplifying the protests from international to domestic terrorism that I'm not going to go into, but it's amplifying. So the Jaguar is saying, well, look, I can see into the darkness of the human heart, right? Whether it's our own or whether it's what's happening right now. It's also an animal that's associated with foresight, right? The forecoming of things, right? The knowledge of things to come. And yeah, can in some cultures are seemed or deemed a foreteller of disaster. Okay, so here's the thing: we need a good cleansing, right? And when we're in the middle of a hurricane, we don't necessarily see the benefits of a hurricane, right? When a hurricane comes in and destroys properties and floods homes and does all these things, that we go, oh my God, this is horrible. But we forget that a hurricane, and I remember growing up, my father used to always tell me, a hurricane is no different than Mother Earth cleaning herself and purging what no longer serves her. All right. So the cards are reminding us to be stewards of a bigger, right? So when this came in, this is for the good of all. We need to get out of the mindset about me, poor woe is me, right? It's about us and it's about the collective. And we can get out of the mind and into the soul and into the body and understand that we are we are minuscule in the grand scheme of things, the way the universe operates. We are minute, but we are a key piece to the larger puzzle, right? So we get out of our own stories, our own shit, and we can see the bigger and live from that place. Then these traumas that have happened to us no longer tend to handicap us. You understand? So in the Greek mythology, now it's interesting. So when we look at Greek mythology and Roman mythology, the jaguar is associated in Rome to Bacchus and to in the Greeks to Dionysus, where they were cared for a panther, right? He was cared for by a panther, nursed by it. So a lot of times he was depicted riding a chariot led by cats, not horses. So this god is strongly linked to unleashing desires. So, in Native American, when we look at the word jaguar in itself, what does the word jaguar mean? It means he who kills with one blow. Wow, right? Think about that. Wow, right? So this is about, now when we look at what's happening like in Minnesota, even what happened in Boston last night, and I feel bad for the cops that took the honor and kneeled last night in front of protesters in Boston. And then we had other police officers who wanted to run over protesters. And I can't imagine what their life is like inside the police department. And my heart just kind of went out and I'm going, oh my God, because there are some that are trying. But what I have known is that we tend to promote bullies and abusers, and we don't promote those that are actually heart-centered doing the work. And that is what I have learned over the years doing my advocacy work. So the whole system, I hate to say it, has to crumble for things to change, because we are being led by a system of oppressors. When we look at how this country was founded and what we celebrate from a colonized mindset, a colonized system that is about, what is colonization? Colonization is about what? Rape, murder, theft, stealing, forcing, right? Takeover. Where is the stewardship in colonization? Okay, and we've got this embedded into our school system. And so one of the things we're being asked, that the Jaguar is really kind of also asking of us, is to look within our own fears, our own shadows. It's a symbol of mastery of the dimensions. Why? Because a jaguar can climb, a jaguar can run, and a jaguar can swim. It is one of the only cats. No other cat can do this better than the jaguar. So therefore, it can master the dimensions, and which no others could survive doing so. You understand? So this is the ability. So what Jaguar is showing us, yes, we've got all this shit that's happening, right? We can either sink into it and into the fears and, oh my God, poor woe is me, or I feel handicapped because I don't know how to use my privilege. Well, if you don't know how to use your white privilege, I've got teachers to show you. Private message me and I will send you the links to who I can send you to help you with unpacking your own white privilege so you could be an ally. All right. I can give you that information. And so there's a lot that's happening on the front with that. And I'm grateful to the teachers that have been leading me for the past couple of years on this aspect as well. So, but now we have the ability to go beyond what is imagined. So we can sit here and see what's happening and put a label to it and put a persona to it. Or we can say, you know what? I need to rise up. I need to rise up for me. I need to rise up for humanity. I need to rise up for those that are oppressed, because we are never truly free, whether you're white or black, indigenous, person of color, unless all of us are free. Okay? Women still do not have all the rights. There's so much corruption in family courts. I did it with domestic violence. Rape survivors is the reason why rape survivors do not come forward. Okay, there's a reason why victims of domestic violence stay with their husbands. There's a reason why women aren't getting married anymore. All these other things. So there's a reason for it. We don't want to be controlled. We are not anybody's slave. I am not somebody's slave. I am not somebody's, indentured servant. Okay. I am my own sovereign being. And for us to be whole as a country, as a planet, all life forms, and that includes the ants, the insects, the cats, even the birds. You may go, well, I don't want this tree in my yard. I don't want this, they can go elsewhere. Well, hello, you do not own anything. We are caretakers. Understand? We are caretakers of this planet. We do not own anything. This is where we go wrong. And the Jaguar is really showing us that it's about us reclaiming our power. And when we reclaim our power, we get the rewards. The Jaguar is associated with mysticism, with magic, there's significance. This is a time for all of us. And what is happening with these riots is forcing our shadows. It's forcing us to deal with our shadows. It's another layer for us to force our shadows. Yes, I get it's painful for a lot of us. I get it. And this is where, for those of you who might be struggling mentally, emotionally, I ask for you to really call in reinforcements and help you through that. But this is a time, whether our power was lost, stolen, or broken, this is time for us to reclaim it and express it again. You understand that we can sit there and go, oh my God, I feel powerless. How many of you are feeling that right now? How many are going, oh my God, I feel powerless. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be an ally for those of color. I do not know how to bring justice in a system of injustice. I don't even know how to advocate for myself. How many are feeling powerless? I would like to know. Put it in the comments. Because here's the thing. The Jaguar is saying it's time to reclaim that power. First, to identify when you lost your power, and let's reclaim it. And even more strongly, in solidarity than we ever had before we lost it. So there's a blessing here, right? Again, the kind of the pearl, that when we reclaim our power, we reclaim it to a point better than when we first lost it, right? Because then we can enjoy the fruits of our labor. Here's the other thing about Jaguar, because I watched this with this black cat this morning. They're a stalker. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, that means that there's the stalker, and I might mean like stalker like a sexual predator, but they are a predator, right? Surrender to powerlessness. I completely agree, Laura. We do not own anything. All the non-human beings in the earth are just as important as we are. When we get that fact, Carolyn, absolutely, then we create harmony, right? I mean, a lot of my teachings come from the Japanese and understanding the Shinto roots, and which is currently being threatened right now in Japan. I'm hearing from my Japanese teachers of how the old Shinto roots are being really hammered right now. They want to do away. A lot of the youth don't want anything to do with this. This is heartbreaking to hear. And it's frustrating. But when we look at the stalker of the cats and the Jaguar, like I looked at this cat, and I I guess because I was trying to unpack and trying to sit, I wasn't paying attention to the cat, that maybe he was stalking the baby robins, that I didn't realize they were fledglings already. I thought they were still safe in the nest. And then something in my intuition goes, I kind of did that. And I was like, oh gosh, I got to go check on the baby robins. What if the cat, I just had it, my sinking feeling that the cat may have gotten one of the babies. And I went and I only saw one in the nest. And I was like, oh gosh, maybe he got one of them. And so this brings that the jaguar is also, like most cats, will wait patiently until the prey is close before he is strong enough to strike, strong and hard. The jaguar is known with one swipe to decapitate the head of an animal. One swipe. So this strike represents this great power, the bite. He can bite into the temporal lobe of its prey and shear its head off with the claw with one swipe. What is it saying? This is primal instincts. Again, what's the common theme we have been seeing out going now in week 12, right? We're going on week 12 with these. So this is trusting our own instincts, not what the media feeds us, because if it doesn't feel right, then it's not right, right? It's our instincts, your primal instincts, not of what others say. So know how to best attack. If you feel like you want to be part of, like, for instance, the uprising and the protest, know how to be an active supporter of it in a way that's going to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish, right? Because the stalker, here's the other thing about stalkers, we don't let people know what we're doing. I'm one of those that wears everything on the sleeves, and here I'm out, and here it goes. And I'm learning, like, there's some medicine that we just shouldn't share. We just need to show it. And that includes how we use our light as a lighthouse, right? We don't need to talk about it, because when we are that solid lighthouse, people just know. They just feel it and they just flock. So this is, an opportunity that otherwise maybe things have been missed. So, one of the things I keep hearing is that the jaguar is showing us to face our fears, okay? To face our fears or to confront the others, whether it's the government right now or others that might be oppressing. And to also find periods of joy. One of the things I kept hearing last night in the self-care for the empath class was, I feel powerless and I'm so stuck in my stuff that I feel like I'm just not capable of coping with what's going on out there. And you need to be okay, because then that's when you find the joy within you, right? When you find the joy that's within you and you work on the shadows, you're going to have periods of joy and you're not. But when you find that joy and you bridge that, it doesn't mean spiritually bypass. It means finding the joy within the shadows. It's right. It's like bring the light into the shadows. And when we can do that, what happens? We shatter the darkness. The darkness no longer controls us, right? Is this making sense to you all? Yes? So, and then we got to look at, from a numerology standpoint, I didn't go into this and I'm not really going to go into much, but it's an 11-day on the first day of the month in June 6th. So this is a lot about relationals, stuff that's surfacing on multiplanes, and today is an amplifier. So be very mindful of the emotions of how you move forward today, because it is an amplifier. Okay, questions? Because what I would like to do is transition this into a quick, just breathings. I know I went long on this part today. And just a quick 5-minute breathing, starting with the Gokai. We're going to actually just recite the Gokai once today, and but focus on some of the breathing so we can bring that medicine in. Here we go. So put our hands in Gaso. Breathing in for 3 and out for 5. Kyo dakiwa. Ikado na. Shinpai suna. Kanchaste. Kyo hagame. Itoni shinsatsuni. Kyo dakiwa. Ikaruna. Shenpai suna. Kanchaste. Kyo hagame. Yes, we are going to do it 3 times. Kyo dakiwa. Ikaruna. Shenpai suna. Kanchaste. Kyo hagame. Itoni shinsetsumi. Now just take in all of what is. Just bring that breath in from the crown into the tandem. And with the exhale, exhale out through your hands and your feet. Allowing to surface whatever needs to surface for you at this moment. Honoring the body, honoring what it needs to give you at this time. Don't try to control the chitter-chatter in the mind, just allow it to flow. But just see it like a cloud and just watch it pass by. Bringing yourself back to center. Bringing yourself back to center. Feeling the presence of Jaguar and the energy of Jaguar medicine swirling around you. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel the strength and the mighty power of the Jaguar. See the energy just infuse within your very breath, within your being, swirling in and around you. And let the power of Jaguar guide you today as we carry on and move through the day. Breathing in, breathing out. When you're ready, move your hands and move your feet. I know we didn't do it very long today. When we do the Zooms, we will have an hour. So we will be able to dedicate more time towards meditation than what we're doing here. And as far as Robin medicine and rabbit, I didn't quite go into that. So if you would like to stay in breathing, you're more than welcome. If you would like to post in the comments what's happening, this would be great as well. So when we think of Robin, as I said earlier, I was seeing the parents both frantic, but when I also think of Robin, it's very tied to, because of the red breast, right? It's tied to the Kundalini. So if there's even childhood stuff that might be surfacing for you, it's heralding spiritual growth, obviously rebirth, power, change, and transformation. There is a story that the robin was pricked by thorns when Jesus was dying on the cross. So for those of you who are connected to Jesus, that might be a powerful message for you as well. So the robin offers a lot of to teach us with protection and spiritual enlightenment. They're fascinating to watch, and when you sit and just watch there's lots of messages there for you. They're also associated many times with the old phase and bringing into the new phase, and it's encouraging. So the Robin was really showing us to be brave again, to be brave. So that was the message I was hearing this morning about bravery. And the rabbit, which isn't usually tied to Ostera, the fertility goddess in spring, I was hearing a lot of messages about being more aware of our environment and more aware of protecting ourselves if we sense a threat. So there's the dichotomy there, and understanding that there's cycles of life, and understanding our role, and what do we want to rebirth, not what is being destructed, because in order for a new earth to happen, and this is teachings that we teach in Jaguar and Reiki about the destruction of ego, and we have to deconstruct that in order to create a more sustainable world and planet for all beings. And that can be a very painful process. So I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. If you're interested, I put a link for those who want to be on the email list for upcoming either blog posts, upcoming events that are going to be happening. Hopefully by the end of June, we will be in person doing the Bless Your Junk class. If not, we'll be doing that online as well. So registrations are already coming in, so I'm kind of happily surprised. But and the Jaguar and Reiki training begins in July. I am just waiting for the green light for the shipping, because our supplies all come out of Japan. Make sure that the shipping is all open again before I open up registration. So there we go. There we have it. So let's just take a deep breath, and now let's just kind of move some stuff. I'm trying to see maybe what music to play. And sorry about that. I had a call that came in, and I wanted to bop them on the nose. So what I'm thinking of doing, and I'm hoping that you all still see me, is that I'm feeling bringing in the Dragonborn song again. So this is where I want to move. I'm hoping you guys can hear it okay. Move what needs to move, what's stuck. I know I've been feeling a lot in my shoulders and my back lately, and my neck, but I'm feeling the need to flow. Thank you for joining me today on this Monday. I'm grateful to you. For those of you who are not on the email list and want to know more about the Mornings with Laura that are going to be hopefully coming up starting next week, fingers crossed. And make sure you're on the email list, so we'll be announcing that. And I'm here for those of you who need extra one-on-one support. There's links also in the description there. And I look forward to seeing you Wednesday. And again, reciprocity always works as well. So if you feel like you need to make and would like to make a donation, please do to help keep these going. Because I do, like I said, I put a lot of effort in sitting with these and preparing for these, probably 3 hours a day. And so reciprocity could go a long way to help cover my overhead as well. So arigato gozaimashita, as we say. And for those of you who are Jikin and Reiki trained, I will see you this evening at 7:30. Have a great day.